out of that dark place. With my first son, because I had to hustle so much, I sacrificed so much time away from my firstborn, and I'm still trying to make it up to this day. And this is stuff that I've confessed, and been vulnerable.
Just when fans thought Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 have found its rhythm, the entire production was thrown into chaos by a behind-the-scenes conflict that no one saw coming. A quiet storm had been brewing for weeks, and when it hit, it shook not only the cast, but the network itself. The drama centered round two of the show's most prominent names, Yandy Smith-Harris and Erica Mena. And according to multiple insiders, things got so personal, so explosive, that Yandy made a decision that stunned everyone. She completely refused to film any scenes with Erica moving forward. This wasn't a typical on-camera feud. This was a line in the sand, drawn off camera, backed by emotion, betrayal. And what insiders say was a breach of trust so deep that even VH1 executives couldn't clean it up. What's worse, it wasn't just a rumor. People close to the show say that an actual scene had been filmed, one where Yandy confronted Erica face to face, but VH1 allegedly deleted it from the season. Why? Because what happened in that moment was too real to air. According to reports spreading online, the tension between Yandy and Erica started to rise just a few weeks into filming the new season. At first, it didn't seem like anything major. No heated arguments, no confessional shade, just quiet energy shifts, the kind of tension you feel when someone walks into a room. But insiders later confirmed that something had happened behind the scenes, something Yandy had just learned about and couldn't let go. It all came to a head at a private cast dinner. No cameras, no storylines, just a few cast members getting together for what was supposed to be a relaxing night, away from the spotlight. That's when Erica reportedly pulled out her phone and showed a set of screenshots to the table. Those screenshots, according to the people there, were messages between Mendices and a woman no one in the cast knew. A woman who, according to Erica, had come forward claiming that Mendices had been messaging her behind Yandy's back. No one knows exactly how Erica got those screenshots, or whether they were real, fake, or taken out of context. But once they were shown, the atmosphere changed. People at that dinner were stunned. Whispers started flying. And even though Yandy wasn't present that night, the information reached her within hours. By the next day, filming was scheduled to continue with Yandy, Erica, and several other cast members. But when Yandy arrived on set, something was different. She didn't speak to anyone. No smiles. No banter. Just a quiet, focused anger. Before the cameras even rolled, she pulled Mendices to the side and confronted him. The two had a private conversation that no one could hear. But everyone noticed their body language. Yandy looked cold and furious. Mendices appeared to be explaining something, his hands up in defense. Moments later, Yandy walked straight to the production crew and told them she would not be filming. If Erica was involved, she wasn't open to discussion. That was it. At first, many assumed it was just a bad day, that Yandy would cool off and resume shooting after a break. But that didn't happen. The next day, she still wouldn't film. Then the next. It wasn't a phase. It was a decision. Producers scrambled, trying to figure out how to keep the season going with one of its biggest stars refusing to appear in any scenes involving Erica. Offers were made behind the scenes. Private meetings were held. One producer even tried to suggest filming scenes where the two women wouldn't cross paths. Still, Yandy wouldn't budge. And then it got worse. A well-known gossip blog posted an explosive article, claiming to have full details on what happened, including that there was a scene filmed where Yandy confronted Erica over the screenshots. According to that article, the confrontation was intense. Voices were raised. The energy got so hot that producers had to step in physically to de-escalate. But instead of airing the scene, VH1 allegedly decided to cut it all together. That leak changed everything. Fans who had been guessing suddenly had something to latch onto. And while Yandy, Erica, and Mendices remained silent, their silence only fueled the fire. Social media exploded with speculation. People went back through recent episodes, trying to spot where things had been edited strangely. Group scenes where Yandy should have appeared, but didn't. Conversations that seemed like they were chopped halfway through. And most of all, the complete lack of direct interaction between Yandy and Erica, despite both of them being central to the show. Some fans were heartbroken, others were furious. But everyone agreed something serious had gone down, and the show was dancing around it. Even more damning, neither Yandy nor Erica issued any kind of statement. In past seasons, they were both quick to clap back online when rumors surfaced. But this time, both of them went quiet. That silence spoke volumes. As the situation unfolded, fans began to notice more signs. Yandy had stopped posting behind-the-scenes content. Her usual selfies from set were missing. She didn't go live like she used to. Meanwhile, Erica was active on social media, but made no reference to Yandy, the drama, or the show itself. And then fans noticed the unfollow. Quietly, with no announcement, Yandy and Erica stopped following each other on Instagram. That one move sent a signal louder than any public statement. The cast began splitting into sides. Some castmates continued shooting with Erica, while others stayed in touch with Yandy off camera. According to insiders, things got so bad that production had to split the filming schedule. One group for scenes with Erica, and a separate group for Yandy. Not only did this require additional staff and resources, but it made the editing process a nightmare. Behind closed doors, Yandy was reportedly still angry, not just at Erica, but at Mendices too. Even though Mendices claimed the messages were fake or manipulated, Yandy couldn't shake the feeling that the damage had already been done for her. It wasn't just about what was in the screenshots. It was about the disrespect of bringing them into the public space. That Erica, someone she once trusted to a degree, would show them around like receipts at a dinner table was a betrayal Yandy couldn't forgive. She began spending more time away from the cameras, even away from home. Sources say she stayed with family or booked quiet hotel rooms just to be alone. She needed space, time to think, to decide what her next step would be with the show, her marriage, and her peace of mind. As for Mendices, sources close to him said he was caught off guard. He didn't expect things to spiral like this. He tried reaching out to Yandy, tried explaining, tried asking for a private sit-down. No cameras, no producers. But Yandy wasn't responding. She wasn't ready. Her silence wasn't about being petty. It was about setting boundaries. Insiders said she was deeply hurt, that Mendices hadn't immediately squashed the rumors before they got out of control. After everything they had gone through, his prison time, raising their children, building their brand as a couple, she expected more. She expected protection. Instead, she got public humiliation. And on Erica's end, there was no remorse. According to people in her circle, she felt she had done the right thing by being honest. She thought Yandy had been putting on a front for too long. And in Erica's mind, she had simply exposed a truth that Yandy didn't want to face. The fallout didn't scare her. In fact, some say she leaned into it. She kept filming. She kept posting. But to fans who had been watching the show for years, something felt off. The energy wasn't the same. The group events weren't the same. And with every week that passed without an explanation, viewers became more frustrated. Bloggers began digging deeper. Fan pages started tracking clues. People wanted the truth. Was Yandy really done with the show? Would Mendices speak out? Would Erica eventually apologize? None of that happened. Instead, production quietly carried on, avoiding any scenes that would put the two women in the same room. But the absence of Yandy, especially for major cast events, became the elephant in every episode. No matter how much VH1 tried to pivot, to spotlight other storylines, the shadow of what happened between Yandy and Erica never went away. And it wasn't just a storyline anymore. It was a statement, a warning, a real-life consequence in a world built on pretend conflict and conflict. As filming for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 continued, the set had shifted into unfamiliar territory. There was no longer a unified cast, no longer the sense of scripted chaos producers could control. Instead, there was a quiet divide, one that even clever editing couldn't hide. Yandy Smith-Harris had made her decision, and now production was scrambling to adjust, according to insiders. VH1 began restructuring the season round the fallout. Entire filming days were reworked. Crew members were reassigned. New storylines were fast-tracked. And all of it stemmed from one choice. Yandy would not film with Mena under any circumstances. The situation had grown beyond a simple on-screen disagreement. This was now a full-blown production crisis, with money, contracts, reputations, and emotional well-being all tangled in a web that just kept getting tighter. Meanwhile, fans watching the show could feel that something was different. Scenes seemed disconnected. Episodes bounced between different groups without the usual cast overlap. Yandy appeared alone in her moments, and Erica was never in the same room. The tension was visible, not because it was mentioned, but because of how hard the show was working to pretend it wasn't there. Observant viewers took to social media to compare this season to previous ones. Posts circulated showing Yandy's past involvement in major group scenes, set against her new isolation. Comments piled in. Where's the energy? Why does this season feel off? What happened between Yandy and Erica? And the network still said nothing. No teaser clip. No acknowledgement. Just silence. But for fans, that silence felt like confirmation. Something big had gone down, and VH1 was trying to bury it under edits and subplots. Behind the scenes, Yandy remained unmoved. Sources close to her said she was focused entirely on protecting her mental health and her family. She wasn't interested in faking forgiveness or crafting a dramatic makeup scene for the sake of ratings. To her, this wasn't a TV plot. This was real life. And when Erica showed those alleged messages from Mendices at that dinner table, Yandy felt a line had been crossed. She couldn't ignore it, and she refused to pretend like nothing happened. Producers reportedly tried multiple times to set up a reunion-style sit-down, separate rooms, mediated conversations, even pre-recorded statements. But Yandy turned down every offer. She wasn't about to stage a scene for closure when the hurt hadn't been resolved behind the cameras. Erica, on the other hand, continued business as usual. She stayed visible on social media, promoted her fitness ventures, and kept filming scenes that painted her as unbothered. But even she couldn't escape the consequences, fans flooded her comments, demanding answers. Why did you do Yandy like that? Where's the proof? Are you just trying to stay relevant? And though Erica never directly responded, the tone of her posts subtly changed. Gone were the usual sarcastic captions. Instead, she focused on brand deals and image control. Still, the damage had been done. Even some of her longtime supporters began to question her motives. Was this about truth or just attention? Meanwhile, Mendices found himself in a nearly impossible position. While he didn't publicly comment, insiders said he was doing everything he could behind the scenes to rebuild trust with Yandy. He was reportedly staying away from major cast events, avoiding scenes that could be twisted into drama, and spending more time at home. He didn't want to feed the fire. But even his silence raised eyebrows. Fans speculated about what he was hiding. Blogs ran stories questioning whether he really was innocent, or just keeping things quiet to avoid making matters worse. Those close to him insisted that the messages Erica presented were either fake or taken completely out of context. But as time passed, that explanation didn't carry much weight. Because to Yandy, it was never just about the messages. It was about how quickly trust could be broken in public as the tension continued. Production hit a breaking point, with key scenes missing and Yandy refusing to appear in group tapings. Entire episodes had to be rewritten. Additional cast members were brought in to fill space. New rivalries were created on the fly to add drama. And still, none of it had the same impact. Ratings began to dip slightly, not enough to tank the season, but enough to raise concerns. Fans were vocal. They wanted the real story. They wanted to see what actually happened. Petitions began circulating online, demanding that VH1 release the footage of Yandy and Erica's confrontation. Hashtags like #ShowTheScene and #Justice for Yandy Y began trending among LHH fans. Some even went as far as contacting sponsors of the show, urging them to push the network for transparency. But VH1 stayed silent, holding its ground. According to insiders, executives believed that addressing the situation publicly would only escalate things further. As all of this unfolded, the impact extended beyond filming. People in Yandy's inner circle began cutting off castmates who remained friendly with Erica. Business partnerships were affected. Friendships were tested. Some cast members felt trapped, unsure of whether supporting Yandy publicly might affect their contracts or if siding with Erica could lead to social media backlash. And the result? A fractured cast, the usual LHH magic. Messy friendships, fiery reunions. Unexpected redemptions was nowhere to be found. Everyone was playing it safe. The joy was gone. Off-screen, Yandy redirected her energy. She poured herself into her business ventures and community activism. Those close to her said she'd been feeling uneasy about reality TV for a while, that this incident just pushed her to take action. Her focus was now on protecting her legacy, not chasing clout. Meanwhile, Erica continued filming and posting, but even her storyline began to lose momentum. Without Yandy, there was no real tension, no real stakes, just scenes that felt disconnected from the larger story. And the fans could tell. Episode after episode, viewers left the same comments. Where's the closure? Why are they ignoring the biggest drama of the season? This feels fake. The show wasn't delivering answers, and fans weren't letting it go. Insiders revealed that the network had tried one final move. A reunion special was quietly being planned. The goal was to get Yandy and Erica to participate, not together, but in separate segments. The producers hoped to allow each woman to tell her side, give fans a sense of closure, and wrap up the season with dignity. But once again, Yandy declined. She reportedly told her team she wasn't interested in using her pain to close out a season that no longer reflected her values, unless she could control every aspect of the segment, from editing to release. She wasn't showing up. That decision sent shockwaves through the network, but they respected it, because by now, everyone knew Yandy meant what she said. In the final weeks of production, episodes aired like usual, but the cast and fans knew the real story had been left on the cutting room floor. Blogs published new versions of the drama every week. Some claimed Yandy was leaving the show for good. Others insisted she had already signed a deal for her own spin-off. A few said she'd been offered more money to return under special conditions. But the truth? Only Yandy, Erica, and Mendices knew. And none of them were talking. As for Mendices, he remained in the background. According to insiders, he was still working to repair things with Yandy. The two were reportedly spending more time together, but not talking about the show. Their focus was healing, rebuilding what had been cracked during the most public test of their marriage yet. And from those who knew them best, there was hope. Hope that while cameras couldn't capture everything, real love still had a chance to survive. And so, season 13 came to an end, not with a resolution, but with a mystery, a powerful silence that echoed louder than any confessional ever could. The final episodes aired with smiles, hugs, and half-hearted arguments. But fans knew what was missing. Yandy's fire, her presence, her voice, and Erica's accountability. What viewers were left with wasn't closure. It was an open chapter, a moment paused in time. The kind of real-life drama that no editor, no producer, No reality format could ever truly wrap up in one scene because sometimes the realest stories aren't filmed. They unfold in quiet decisions, in what's left unsaid, and that, not the parties, not the yelling matches, is what will make season 13 unforgettable. Whether you're Team Yandy, Team Erica, or just watching from the sidelines, one thing is clear. This wasn't about TV anymore. It was about truth. And that truth, still waiting to be told.